sorry it cut off, so we're starting from
So we
5
think
minutes.
we left off on where she was saying how
The attention getter.
attention getter downtown, how we live downtown, and how it's kind of just an art district, which I think is really cool because both of their art objects considered the street art and the graffiti and the vandalism and stuff. So I mean, it's really cool. I would kind of say that Banksy could possibly be considered vandalism, but no one really cares because he's a well-known artist. Because he doesn't get the permission and no one really knows who he is.
According to how Kelsey was saying the definition of vandalism, without permission, doing it when no one else is there. I'm gonna say something else. Also with your organization, because you did a Prezi, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because like it's more like it keeps the person engaged, your audience engaged. I liked how you organized everything, like you went from one point to one point. Also your transitions were good too. I remember that.
Thank you.
You did go over time though.
I did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe
That's
it was
another time thing. I was under last time.
yeah.
But you
like
covered
kind of
every-
like sped up
Yeah.
afterwards.
Mhm.
It was just like you took a deep breath and just like cut some things out if no one would have
Yeah.
ever noticed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked how there was 3
Face
things
mask.
on graffiti.
Yeah, there was a
know.
lot.
And they were completely different though.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. I mean, because if it was the same, our audience would be very bored.
Yeah.
And especially, well, going back to your like art, your pictures, like even though you didn't have your pictures, like you still explained everything. And you're like, this picture would have been this, and like you still went over. Like,
Yeah, it was very like
you
audience
still went
driven.
over
so,
like the points, like you didn't like get frazzled by it. You're like, oh no, they're not there. Let me just go this. Let me just go over what
I
would have
tried
been.
everybody
there.
was so engaged, like
Oh, I
regardless.
hope so.
I hope I engaged
I had at
them.
least 4 minutes with everybody.
With organization, is there anything you guys would have changed about your speech?
The pictures being there. No, organization. I think I would have practiced more with the presentation. Like just so that way I personally would have thought it flowed better.
For mine, I liked like the organization and everything that I had, but like when I practiced it, I was going over time. But I just didn't know what to cut out. That was the hard thing for me because everything was like important to
Yeah.
the major points. So it was just like picking what I could take out of my thing. to
I
make-
wonder, like, even for yours, like, since you did go over time, would you have focused, like, more on vandalism or, like, or, I guess, like, graffiti? Or would you have, like, done both, or would you?
Most of the time I spent on defining it, like differentiating it from vandalism, and I spent a little bit of time just on the social movement itself, so maybe I could have just cut out the vandalism part.
Yeah. I mean, just to
A little
understand
bit.
both, I mean, you probably would have talked about both, but, I mean,
Like it was like all
It was-
things
yeah.
were important, so it was hard.
but it's just interesting to think, like, oh, maybe I could have spent less time on this, or
Mhm.
more time on it. What is it at?
It's at 3:14. I think we have to go until like 3:30, so it's been a pleasure
Let-
working with you girls. Catch us back after this next speech if we have another peer discussion. It's been real.